Welcome back. Here's a quick look at a few legal stories making headlines. Minneapolis voters have rejected an initiative to replace its police department with a Department of Public Safety. Opponents of the proposal criticized the ballot language for saying the new department could include armed police officers if necessary to fulfill public safety responsibilities at a time when the city has recorded more homicides since the mid-1990s. Supporters argued the measure would have reduced the role of armed police officers responding to calls involving mental health, substance abuse, or the homeless. It was a historic night in the nation's largest city as civil rights lawyer and former federal prosecutor Alvin Bragg was elected as New York's first black district attorney of Manhattan. The focus will now turn to how he will handle high-profile cases, including the investigation into former President Donald Trump and his family business. New Jersey State Police and the FBI have joined the search for a black teenage girl who went missing last month. 14-year-old Josiah Moore was last seen at a deli in East Orange, New Jersey on October 14th. She apparently lost her debit card along the way, and her mother sent her back out to search for it, and she never returned. An employee at a nearby store said she had come in with a man who paid for her items. Remember to tune in Thursday night for our Missing Black Women and Girls series. Journalist Soledad O'Brien, along with Derica and Natalie Wilson of the Black and Missing Foundation, will join me to talk about the new HBO docuseries that follows their work to bring awareness to these cases. You don't want to miss it. That's Thursday night only on Making the Case. The right to bear arms is guaranteed in the Constitution, but who can carry a gun and where? Well, that depends on where you live. Today, that debate went before the Supreme Court, and experts say the outcome could have unique implications in communities of color. BNC correspondent Walter Morris is in Los Angeles to explain.
So the question the Supreme Court is deciding is whether the right to keep and bear arms includes the right to carry weapons in public.
A gray area in the Second Amendment going before the Supreme Court. Wednesday, the justice is hearing arguments in a guns rights case that could clear the way for more people to conceal carry weapons on the streets of major cities like New York and LA.
I'm not sure that practically speaking the effects will be vast, but they will be significant one way or the other.
Eugene Volokh is a professor at UCLA Law, and he says most states already allow licensed gun owners to pack heat in public legally. The exceptions, California, New York, and 6 other states that require gun owners to get a special permit, with the Empire State having the most restrictive laws on the books.
We've seen kind of what happens when concealed carry permits are more broadly available in other places, including places where there are very big cities, and the answer is not a lot.
Of course, there's no way to know what the court will decide until it decides, but with 3 Trump appointees solidifying a conservative majority, and based on the questioning Wednesday, many speculate the court will strike down New York's restrictive law.
I started working on the Second Amendment as an area and related issues as an area of research. In part, looking at the nation's racial history.
Meanwhile, scholars like Robert Cottrell at GW Law say this case also has unique implications for communities of color, particularly in major cities like New York. Part of the issue is who decides on a concealed carry permit, and in many cases with strict regulations like the Big Apple, that's up to local authorities.
I grew up in New York City. I think the discretion's been horribly abused. If you're a celebrity, if you're politically connected, if you get a permit. If you're an ordinary citizen in a dangerous neighborhood, you're faced with the Hobson's choice. Protect yourself and risk getting a felony record, which will eliminate many possibilities in your life, or be defenseless, again, in a neighborhood where the police simply don't defend the people.
In Los Angeles, I'm Walter Morris for Making the Case.